What's really behind your child's behavior when they hit, act out, or struggle to communicate? In this eye-opening episode, Pediatric OT Stacey helps uncover the hidden reasons behind these challenging moments. We dive into sensory overload, how the brain's rooms impact behavior, and how to respond with empathy and understanding. If you're ready to stop guessing and start understanding your child's behavior, this episode will give you the tools you need to create calm, compassionate solutions. This is episode 76, Why Does My Child Hit? Understanding Behavior with Pediatric OT Stacey. Welcome to Healing with Haley. I'm your coach, Haley Kirk. On this podcast, we dive into ways to heal, embrace, and truly love our lives. Here's my belief. So much of our suffering comes from what we believe. I'm here to help you understand your mind and question those thoughts to start your healing journey. Ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome, podcasters. I have Stacey Greenberg back with us, and we are going to talk about how behavior is communication. So, Stacey, tell us again, for those who didn't listen to your first amazing podcast, it was like one of the top performing podcasts of 2024. So many people listened to it. So many people had good feedback for it. So tell us your background just a little bit and kind of where you started, and then how behavior is communication.
Okay. So I started in private practice. I did private practice, pediatric occupational therapy for 9 years. And then I actually started at a clinic that had ABA, which is applied behavior analysis. And caveat, I am not a proponent of ABA. I stand very strongly with the autistic community and the damage that they see is done. I do know that there are good ABA and RBT therapists out there. However, the tenets of their philosophy I do not agree with. So that's just kind of like a caveat. So anyway, that's where I started. And then I went to my second clinic, and they were like super holistic, and it made so much more sense in my brain, and I felt better about the things that I was doing. And we really looked at the whole child. And that's where it really became more clear that like all of the things that we're observing, whether it's like a body turn or like a hand splay, those are signs of communication that our kids, if they use mouth words or they don't use mouth words, like they're communicating in some shape or form. Um, Last year in June, I switched from private practice to early intervention. So now I'm working from birth to 3 in Pennsylvania and Maryland. Um, and so that's kind of where my journey is now. And um, I really enjoy it because being able to be in the home and observe things and kind of like just be present without having my own agenda, right? Like in a clinic setting, it's like we have to meet these goals. And at the home, yeah, we have outcomes that we have to meet. But like if there's something going on that the parent wants to kind of like problem solve through, that's how early intervention works. Like we are there to help coach and guide. And I love that model. Um, I'm definitely more hands-on than any other traditional early interventionist, but I'm still learning and growing my own craft. Um, but yeah, so that's been my journey. My specialty is feeding therapy, 1 and up. Under 1, I'm still learning and growing in that knowledge. And then sensory. I know a lot about sensory, but again, like we're still learning and growing in a society. And I think as occupational therapists, we're still learning and growing and learning about how the sensory system works. So I think it's kind of a evolving cycle.
Okay, that's so cool. So I I want to totally have you coach me really quick because my son, my 2-year-old son, he now has a playmate. Like my roommate has a daughter who's going to be 4, and they play really cute. But then there's moments where my son, he hits her. And it's kind of cute because he'll come and say, she'll cry, and then he'll say, I hit I hit her. So like and I'm trying this is what I've tried. I've tried to show him how he can touch her. Like I'll be like, you can touch her with a high five or tickle tickle or a hug or you can blow a kiss. And he'll do those things and he'll get really excited about it. But then a few moments later, he'll go and hit her. So tell me what's up.
Okay, so I think there's a lot to unpack because a lot of it is like the why, right? You have to figure
Okay.
out why is he hitting her? Is he overstimulated because he's so excited and he just doesn't know what to do with his body? Or
Uh-huh.
is he hitting her because he's frustrated and she took a toy? There like you it's hard like if you're not in that room when the hitting is happening, like it's great that he's tattletaling on himself. That's hilarious.
It's so
But
cute.
like the why is what's going to help lead you to understand what is going on. And then because he is still learning how to talk, you're going to see more behaviors than a child who'd been talking a little bit sooner. And I mean, even at that age, it's not uncommon for kids to hit because when they get frustrated, we talked about this last time. So Victoria Wood is a sensory queen, and she talks about how like our brain is a house. And if we're in our vision room, like the girl stole his toy, we're not gonna be able to get to our language room to say, give it back because we're so distracted by that. And our primitive thing to do is to hit, right? Because we don't have enough motor plans of going from the vision room to the language room of our house to be able to say those things. And so that's where like being there in that moment when those quote unquote behaviors are happening is really important because then you can be that model of like if she took the toy, like that's my toy. I'm not ready to share or give it back. And like giving him that language, that power of words so that he knows that he can self-advocate. And I think that's like a big part of what we're learning today is like we can say no. And even when it comes to sharing, it's okay to say no if we're not ready to share. Um, and so I did this in like a daycare. The daycare providers were talking about how like this little boy refused to share and he has less words than your son does. And we were sitting around doing puzzles and like a little girl like took one of his puzzle pieces and the week before I had modeled like give it back or like my turn. And in that moment, because we had practiced it so many times, he was able to use it in the moment, right? And so a lot of the practice is like I don't like to call it sabotage because like there's obviously like that negative connotation with it, but like him knowing that like that puzzle piece is not going away forever, that he is going to get it back because a lot of it comes from like lack of control, right? He's like, that is my puzzle piece. I'm never gonna get it back. And like, or when will I get it back, right? That lack of concrete ability to know, like, I can share, but like, when is it going to be my turn again? And that part is like so anxiety producing that that's where we see those more primitive behaviors.
Oh my God, I'm learning so much. So, okay, so let me paint the picture a little bit more. So, he has all his toys out, right? Like all of his toys are in the living room and the dining room. And I told her mom, I was like, "Hey, my roommate, I was like, "Hey, like you should bring her toys because she had no toys in the house." And I was like, "Man, like Israel is sharing all of his toys all day long. That must be so frustrating." And so today I kind of had a really cool breakthrough with the little girl. I said, she saw Israel going into her toy bin and she started to get upset. And I said, hey, do you see how that might be frustrating for Israel? And how like he's letting you play with his toys all day long. And now he wants to play with your toys. And isn't that nice that he lets you play with your toys all day long, his toys? And she was like, oh, yeah, that is so nice. It was so cute. But yeah, I'm wondering. So I see him when I have seen him hit her. It's almost like it's playful. Like he just kind of wants to see her reaction because she's really sensitive. She's really
Yeah.
sensitive and she kind of cowers when he comes close. And I try to teach her, like stand your ground, open your feet, stand your
Yeah.
ground. He's just teasing you
Yeah.
and wants to see the reaction. So,
Yeah. And that's hard to like unlearn, right? It's that like some kids will seek what's it called? Some kids will seek um reinforcement, whether it be positive or negative, right? So it's like whether the reaction is positive or negative, they're just seeking that connection. And it doesn't matter what kind of connection they get, the connection is what they're seeking. So he's seeking connection from her, and that big reaction that he gets not only probably doesn't feel good for her body, but like seeing her startle probably makes his body feel good, like not in the like callous way of like ha 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 I just made you like get scared, but it's like that like almost your own body gets has that reaction back when someone else startles, right? Like if someone like popped a balloon in a room, I'm gonna scream, you may scream too, just because I scream, not because you screamed because of the balloon, right? It's that like chain reaction. And he may like the way it feels when she startles.
yeah. Yeah, it seems that way because he likes to see her reactions. Like it's a
Yeah.
game. And something that he would do is he would say, "Mine," and he would like scream it, like "Mine," but he has a smile on his face, like "Mine."
Yeah.
And then she would retort back, "Mine," but upset. She's like upset. But it's kind of interesting. And I tried to explain this to her. I was like, these toys are his. They really are his. He's just saying that they're his.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to explain sharing because I even learned
Well,
recently
she's
that,
4
yeah,
and
well,
he's
she's actually
2.
3. She's 3.
Exactly. I mean, like, big caveat, my mom loves this story, and I don't ask me why. I think because it's such a weird story. I had needs improvement on my report card until kindergarten. So, like, I think we expect these, like, really big skills out of little bodies, right? And
Ooh, say that again.
we expect really big skills out of little bodies.
Yes. And I actually learned that they can't cognitively understand how to share until age 5.
No.
I was
Yeah.
like, 5? What?
Yeah.
So, okay, but that frustrates me. So, like, how do we manage that inability for them to not conceptualize sharing and still have peace?
I mean, I think having Israel's toys out all the time is gonna have to not be an option. I think like, okay, these are the toys that we're playing with today. They're not Israel toys, they're not other friends' toys, they're the house toys. Like kind of like if they were going to a daycare center, like these are the toys of Monday, and they're just Monday toys.
Mm, neutral toys
Yeah.
and their days of the week.
I mean, I don't know, like because like they talk about rotating toy. I've seen tons of like Pinterest and Instagram of like rotating toys so they don't satiate on toys. But I think like in a house of similarly aged children who like aren't used to sharing the same space, who both have had their own set of toys, neutral toys are going to be the only way that you're going to be able to separate it. So it's like tomorrow take toys that you notice that like neither one of them gravitate towards. And then those toys will be tomorrow's Tuesday, Wednesday's toys, right? And
Mm,
then that way, like there will be no other toys out tomorrow other than Wednesday's toys.
that's interesting. That's interesting. That's a cool strategy. What what other tips do you have? Because now I have to go get more toys.
I mean, I don't think you have to go get more toys. I think it's more just, like I said, like finding toys that they don't gravitate towards as much and rotating them. And I think like
Because those would
instead
still
of
be Israel's
telling,
toys, though. You know what I
but
mean?
I think instead of like saying that they're Israel's toys, like they're the house toys because you guys are sharing a house.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So
because
house toys.
technically they're your toys because you bought them.
Yeah, they're mine.
Yeah. Right? Like I think like changing the mindset of like they're everybody's toys.
Mm,
And they don't belong to you, they don't belong to me because they belong to the house.
okay.
And
Okay.
just reframing it to the best of your ability. And I think you're gonna have to like cyclically repeat it because it's a big change for both of them.
It is. It so is. And I'm trying to be really empathic about how Israel might be feeling. He's like, what? Like these were mine and now I have to share
Yeah.
them. So I totally
Yeah.
I'm
And he's
like,
not used to having to share.
no, not at all.
Right.
So my other question for you is, let's say I catch him hitting. But oh, I caught him okay, they were doing something really cute. They were like pretending to be monkeys and jumping on the couch. And they would like drop, they would jump and then drop on their butts. It was so cute.
Hmm.
It's so cute. But then I noticed Israel hit her. Just like there was no toy involved. He just like hit her. Like kind of like,
But do you think if they were doing Five Little Monkeys jumping on the bed, what do you think he was trying to make her fall over because they fell off the bed? Like it's
it
really
was like a
hard when
slap.
you're
It was
not.
like a slap on the leg. So I think he was just like, I don't know if he was trying to push her off. It
I
was a,
think it's hard because you're not in the whole moment. So like you're taking the moment of like you walking in, so you don't know the context. Like maybe last round, like she tapped him.
that's true.
Like we
That's
don't really, you
true.
don't know unless you're literally there like a eagle eye hawk. And I think you were gonna ask me like how do you react? I think it depends, right? Like no, we don't want them hitting. And I think you can talk about like how it makes everyone's bodies feel, and how we need to keep our hands need to be kept to ourselves and we need to keep her body safe and your body safe. And if we're mad, we can hit the pillow or we can hit the couch, like where we can express our frustration. Um, because like we have to be able to express our frustration. Um, and it's okay to have those feelings, but um I think it's tricky with the ages. And I think like it's just and you're not gonna be able to supervise every single moment.
Right. And I notice it happens when I'm not there.
Yeah.
It's always when I'm not there. When I'm there, mm, best behavior. Oh wow. So tell me this. So how do I navigate things like, see, I love this thing. It's a gold nugget. We expect big skills out of little bodies. I can see myself totally doing that with the sharing thing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to other negative behaviors, what like yelling, for example, how can a parent,
Is he you mean like if he yells?
yeah, he'll be saying something just really loud. And I know he's just being playful, but let's say I'm in a library.
But also he was a late talker. So he's still exploring his mouth words. So like I think no yelling's not ideal. And in the library, like the rule is that we have to be quiet. And I think you can explain the rule and explain the rule. And I think it's okay to have to repeat the rule over and over again, right? Like their knowledge and retainment of knowledge capacity is only so large. And so I think it's okay. There's nothing wrong with having to repeat a rule or modeling, like, oh, we have to talk or what animal should we be in this scenario, right? Like we can be crickets or we can be what's another quiet animal?
Like a mouse.
A mouse, right? Like what animal should we be? And practice it at home before you go out into the community. So that way, like they understand what you're talking about and it's not just like pulled out of nowhere.
Okay. So like if he's screaming in the house, then I'd be like, use your inside voices. Like show me.
I don't do that. I say, that's so loud for my ears
Okay.
because I'm very auditory sensitive. So I don't do well with Latin noises, which doesn't make sense with my our Latin dancing, but yeah, I don't do well with loud noises. So I usually model like, oh, that makes my ears hurt. And I usually will like express a sad face. I will probably do a pouty lip and see if just like showing the discomfort in my own body, if they are aware, um, and then modeling. So like, oh, that made my ears hurt. Let's try to talk like this. Or can you talk like this, right? Like modeling what the expectation is. Oh, it looks like your body's feeling really fast or wants to be really loud. We can go outside and be really loud, but inside we need to take it down a notch. I don't know, like trying to figure out some playful way to like discriminate between inside and outside without like showing negative to that voice exploration.
What's an example of showing negative to that loudness?
I mean, I think like telling a kid to be quiet or shut up, right? Like I think those are negative ways. I think like we can use our inside voices, but do they conceptually understand what inside voices are?
Mm,
Right? Which is why
I'm
I go to
modeling.
the modeling of like how it makes my body feel, and then modeling what the expectation is. So like it makes my body feel overwhelmed, right? Like my ears are covered, my whole body's crunched in. Like I don't like the way that it makes my body feel. Obviously, you love the way it makes your body feel. Your arms are open, your voice is loud, your eyes are big, right? Kind of going into those like higher level interoception skills that like no, these 2 and 4-year-olds are not going to have the awareness of like what their bodies are doing, but as the parent being that narrator of like what's going on is going to strengthen their ability to tell you like what is going on.
I like what you said as the parent to be the narrator.
Hmm.
And I saw that once, and that really I feel has helped my son's language skills develop more is like narrating everything.
Everything.
Oh, that's really hard for me because that's so boring. I'm like, I want to listen to a podcast and I'm narrating, I'm doing the dishes. Oh, but
But
I'm
you don't
doing
have to
it
narrate everything. It's more like narrating when you're interacting with him.
right, right. But like I'll be like, I'm doing the dishes. I can't play right now, something like that. But what is another, so you said to model. So in the instance of like him hitting, right?
Hmm.
How would I model, like, do I say, this is what I'm doing. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong. So I'll say, Israel, we don't hit. And I'm pretty stern in my voice, but like
Hmm.
I
Is
usually
it
don't
working?
yell. Sometimes I yell. I'm trying to work on it. So I'll say, Israel, we don't hit. Here's how you touch Zyla. You can give her a high five, and then I give her a high five, and then I have Israel give her a high five. And he gets really excited about it.
Yeah.
He loves it. And then he'll even say, hug. He'll actually like, he knows it
Yeah.
now. So he knows what to say and what's coming next. And he gets excited about it. And I give him lots of praise. But then I don't know, it's like not sinking in.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised it's not sinking in because you're teaching in the moment. You have to teach outside of that moment.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what do I do in the moment?
It looks like you feel mad. We can. And you can still describe it and you can still go through the language that you use, but identify his feeling,
Okay.
identify what he did, right? Again, you're narrating, you're being his voice. Zyla, I'm mad you took my toy. I didn't like that.
Oh, I'm talking to the little girl.
Yeah, because you are his voice, right? He doesn't have all these words to express it, which is why we hit. Um, and so until he knows that you understand what's going on, and granted, like this is not going to work 100% of the time. But when they're in that moment of dysregulation, right? Like when we use those more primitive skills, we're not ready to learn. We're not
That's
open
so
to
true.
learning. We can hear you, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean like we're available for knowledge in that moment. So
Oh, that's so
it's like
true.
doing it in those moments of calm, right? Like when we're not buzzing around the house like a buzzy bee. There's a program, I think it's a program, Autism Level Up, and I it's not just for autistic people. I've used it with neurotypical kids. I think it gives amazing resources for families and teachers, and it gives different levels of like how your body feels.
Oh,
Um, but compares it to whatever um genre your kid is really into. So there's like Yo Gabba Gabba, there's Disney, there's princesses, there's Toy Story, or there's animals, or there's emojis. Like they have all of these amazing resources for free um to utilize for kids to start understanding like what's going on in their body. And so that's why I said like are they feeling like a buzzy bee, or are they on the hunt and ready to learn? Or are
mm,
they sleeping like a sloth, right? Like those are like the
yeah.
three levels. Some are more complex and do like five levels. Um, but I mean, for youngers, obviously five is way too many.
Mm,
Um, but I think like you finding those moments of calm. So it's like, when is he most calm? When he wakes up from a nap, after you take a bath, after you do water play, after you cook, right? Like when
yeah.
is his body not going 100 miles an hour?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I think it's after he eats from breakfast and he's in play, when he's in play mode.
Yeah, and I
I
mean, play is how they learn. So
yeah,
using that opportunity to learn during play is going to be the best way for his body to understand and recall and motor plan those like reactions.
do you think so if play is how they learn, do you think I could play hit a toy and then
I
teach him
would.
to not hit?
I would.
Okay, how would you do that?
Well, I think I would have a toy steal something from me and I would get mad. And instead of hitting the toy, I would pound on the couch.
Mm, to let out the frustration.
Yeah. To model a different way. Use my hands, use my feet, giant sigh, big
Okay.
pout, right? Like, "Ah, they took my toy. Why? I was not done playing." Right? Like over exaggerate. Like my last kid today, I told the dad, I'm like, I live at like a level two. I am like very, in my mind, I'm a very like calm person. But when I have these kids that need me to reach to these like big emotional levels, I'm exhausted afterwards. But like that's how they learn. They love that like animation. They love the change in tone because that also gets them excited and shows them the interest in like what you're doing.
I love that. I love that. That's so, yeah, they
But
do
also
play
being
through
aware.
learning. Being
Be
aware
aware of your tone, yeah, because sometimes you can dysregulate kids. You
through
can
your
make them,
tone.
yeah.
Okay, can I
I
see that?
I had a little boy who I was covering. This was at my first clinic. I remember this so vividly. At my first clinic, my cats are about to scream. I remember this so vividly. I had leave her alone. A little boy I was covering, and he was finally calm. I think we were doing like putty or Play-Doh at the table. And we were sitting at the table, and all of a sudden, my boss comes in the room, and she's like super bubbly, super happy, and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he lost it. And like just by your tone of your voice, you can, and it's not everyone, but like some people are way more sensitive to like the way that you react.
Interesting. So her high bubbly energy dysregulated him because he was in like
100%.
a peacefulish.
Yeah, because I'm very calm. So he came in really dysregulated. We did some stuff. I stayed calm because if I get animated, he would also get even more animated.
Mm,
And again, like it's not for everyone. Not everyone is that easily dysregulated, but some kids are. And so just taking that into account, like, is my kid super jazzed when I do X? Or do
mm.
they stay the same? Like if I go into a sing-songy voice, are they like running around? Or do I, if I'm using a sing-songy voice, do I keep my tone low? Can I still sing? Or does it still make them jazzed, right? Like looking at the reaction in that moment of like what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so good to know. Um, Another thing I want to talk about when it comes to Israel and his new friend, I wonder, so there's a game I play, there's a game I play with both of them, and I put
What?
this mask. It's like a scuba diver mask.
Yeah.
And I chase them into the kitchen. I tickle both of them, and I'm going like blub 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 like a little fish.
Yeah.
And I tickle them, and then they run, and then they go from the kitchen into the living room, and they go on the couch and hide, and I like tickle them again. So I'm wondering if I could incorporate the like hitting thing, teaching
I
him.
wouldn't. They're so dysregulated during that game.
Oh,
Mm,
really?
absolutely. There's no way.
How are you defining dysregulate? Because to me, it sounds like they're playing, but
So
that's
dysregulation is like when you feel really fast. Like there's nothing wrong with being dysregulated. It feels good to many bodies. Um, but it's that like point of like not they're not able to learn in that moment, right? You're chasing them, so they're going fast already.
yeah.
You're stimulating them, you're giving them input because you're tickling them, so they're laughing manically, right? Like those are things that their bodies are doing, and they're in play mode. Like that is like 100%. Yes, they are playing, and they probably do they transition well from this place game, or will they do this for like hours if you let them?
Oh, yeah. I get really tired. So I tell them like 10 more minutes, 5 more
Yeah.
minutes. So I do like a countdown.
Yeah.
They don't get upset. They're just kind of like, oh,
Yeah, right. And I mean the fact that like you do the countdown, like we've talked about that before, that helps with that transition piece, but that's not a place I would teach
that's interesting. So you want to teach them in play when it's more calm play?
calm. Yeah.
That's so interesting. So how would you explain regulating a child? Like what are the steps?
It's different for every kid. There's no like clear cut recipe. Uh, an activity for one kid can rev them up, and that same activity can slow another kid's body down.
Wow. How do you figure out the nuances?
Trial and error.
Okay. So then for me, I would just find something a little more quiet to play with Israel that he enjoys after
Yeah.
playing that scuba game.
Yeah. So I would like blow bubbles, right? And like what happens when they blow bubbles? Does it make them go fast? Does it make them go slow? Or do they need to read a book? Right? Like what
Mm,
activity is going to help them, like, right? Feel his heart, right? That's part of that interoception piece, like so that you know where his body is. Is his heart going 100 miles per hour? Right? His body's going really fast. So what activity do we need to do to slow his body down? Is it, do we need to crash? Do we need to blow bubbles? Do we need to read a book? Do we need to do some water play, right? There's so many activities you can do, but like everybody's body is going to react to that activity differently.
That's so interesting. Yeah, because you would think, like, at least for me, you would think blowing bubbles is like a calm activity,
Hmm.
but maybe for some kids, it might be like, whoa.
Yeah. Right. And how fast are you blowing them? Right? Are you
Mm,
counting the bubbles when you blow them? Are you blowing one at a time?
wow. Yeah, there's a lot of
All of that.
nuances.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love the details. This is so cool.
Right.
So, okay, I have another. Stacey's my coach tonight. I uh I have another transition with Israel where I put him in a toddler bed from a crib. And it's been a struggle because he has all this autonomy now instead of like being stuck in a crib. And I've tried, I tried the whole relax thing. So I try to relax him with the bath. I do a little massage with the lotion. I narrate to him our day. I read books, I sing songs, but it just doesn't relax him. Like he gets so much energy when he knows I'm gonna leave the room. So what do you recommend?
Sleep. Everyone has trouble with sleep.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like 90% of my caseload on top of feeding. So when he was in his crib, was he all the way asleep before you left the room?
No, no. He would always self-sleep,
Okay.
if that makes sense. He would
Yeah,
put
he would
himself
fall
to
asleep.
sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But how close to sleep would he be when you would leave the room? Because you told me you used to like rock him or read to him for like a good 20 minutes
Yeah, it's
before.
been the same. I've had that same bedtime routine since like for a
So
long.
you're still doing that even in the toddler bed?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um, when did he switch to the toddler bed?
A month ago, like a month or two
Okay, so
ago.
you're still in that like transitional phase.
Yeah.
Um,
And sometimes I'll find him like asleep at the door.
he's
Like,
not ready for you to leave the room.
oh, that's what I thought. I just need to
Yeah.
stay with him longer.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, he's still wanting me in the room.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You could try some rhythmic movement to help him settle. We've never talked about rhythmic movement before.
What is that?
Um, so rhythmic movement are these innate ways it's called innate rhythmic movement, so I guess it's contradicting myself. There are these movements that I don't remember who created them. I just literally just Maura Dempsey, I think. I just learned this like 2 months ago.
That's
I
awesome.
actually learned about rhythmic movement at my clinic, but I learned like more in depth a couple months ago. Um, there are these movements that like our body should be able to do. Um, Sometimes we can't because our primitive reflexes are still integrated. Um, but regardless, these movements help our body calm down, or may help our bodies rev up or help us with attention. So let's say that Israel still has his symmetrical tonic neck reflex. So that's like usually happens when they don't crawl, common in kids that W sit, because they don't look up and down. They didn't do a lot of like up and down looking because they skip crawling. Um, so mine's actually still retained. I found that out, which is why I still have a pelvic tilt. But um, so one of the activities, I don't know if it's actually with STNR, is called longitudinal rocking. And so Longitudinal rocking is when you rock them in a straight line. So like you can put pressure at their feet or on their thighs, um, or on their bottom and just push up and down. And there's multiple different like pressure change, like ways to change the pressure of touch as well as changing the way of the rhythm, right? So like some people need slow rhythm, some people need fast rhythm to help them fall asleep. So I don't do longitudinal rocking to myself, but I'll do side lying rocking when I can't sleep sometimes. And I can only tolerate it for a short amount of time or and I get dizzy. And it's fascinating because when I did the course, I offered to be a model for something and I was really reactive and I wanted to do the movements on my own. I did not want to be touched to have her passively do the movements on myself. I was that reactive. But there was someone watching my eyes, and I could only tolerate it for a short amount of time before I started like rapidly blinking and feeling uncomfortable. And that's just like my movement sensitivity. But that also allowed my body to calm down enough to it helps my body come down enough to go to sleep.
Wow.
It's very complex. But anyway, so there's a couple of rhythmic movements that I can give you to try. So longitudinal rocking is one of them, side lying rocking is one of them, and rolling bottom. Those would be the three.
Whoa. Okay. So this rhythmic movement is multiple ways to help calm down the body, and it could be slow or it could be fast. There's just a bunch of varieties of movement.
Yeah, and pressure and like the depth of the pressure that you use too.
Oh,
So like
wow.
I was at a daycare today and I had two little boys that were having trouble falling asleep. And so the daycare provider I was watching was with one little boy and she was rocking him really fast and he wasn't falling asleep. So I finished with the one little boy and moved over to the other to him and because I had already modeled some rocking. And so I took over and I rocked slowly and his eyes started to go, but like not a lot. So then I went back to fast. And then his eyes really started to go, and then I went back to slow. And then he was starting to fall asleep when I left the room. And so I just educated her on like changing the pressure, changing the rhythm, paying attention to like what his body is doing because that we want them to get tired, right? Like when their bodies are going so fast, like patting the back is not always going to be the way that every single body is going to need.
Mm,
And so that's where that rocking is really powerful, but also think like when they were infants, like which way did they like to be rocked? Did they like to be rocked front to back, or are they like a side to side rocker? Those and these are like not thoughts that you might remember, but it's really interesting because then it also ties to like if you do blanket swing with Israel, like does he tolerate the blanket swing side to side, or does he tolerate the blanket swing front to back? And he may only tolerate one way because the other way he's sensitive to the movement.
blankets. What's a blanket swing?
We've never talked about blanket swing.
Uh-uh.
You need two people, or you need a kitchen table that does not have a bar underneath of it. And you can tie a top sheet onto the or if you have Lycra, top sheet or Lycra to the table and you create like your own little hammock swing.
Uh-huh.
If you do have two adults, you can grab any blanket, um, and you put them in it and you swing them side to side, front to back. And it's a really, for most kids, it's really calming. Like I had a
Wow.
little boy who would like grab it, ask mom for it, and then be like, time for bed. Mom would
What?
tell me. Yeah.
Wow.
He did not like the table swing, but he would grab the blanket that we practiced with and he would ask mom and dad to do the swinging and he would like show them when he was done and then he would go take his bath and go to bed.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So that could be an activity we do before going to bed, is what you're saying.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm learning so much per usual when I talk to you, Stacey. This is amazing. So, what would you say to a parent like myself who's usually like running out of time and kind of has to rush a bedtime?
Can't
No.
rush it. No can do. Add more time at the beginning.
Mm, that's not always the case, though.
I know that that's the problem. Like you can't control those things though. Like there's only so many things you can control throughout a day. You can't control a toddler sleeping.
Yeah, yeah. Because what usually ends up happening is Israel will either go to my bed to sleep because we're in the same room.
Right.
So he has his toddler bed and then I have my bed. And he'll just like, he actually gets a lot of comfort from sleeping on my bed. But I'm
Can he
trying,
fall asleep in your bed and then you transfer him to the toddler bed
oh yeah.
without him waking?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could.
What if you put your comforter on his toddler bed?
I don't think it's my comforter. I think my bed is just more
More
comfortable than
comfortable.
his.
What kind of mattress does he have? Is it like a vinyl thin mattress?
I think so.
So I only ask this because I have a little boy who we're working on sleep for 6 months, and all of a
Uh-huh.
sudden Dad told me um that every time he moves, the bed is loud, and I was like, well, I wouldn't want to roll on a bed that's loud, and it turns out he had a vinyl bed. So Dad put like a fleece blanket under the mattress cover, and that's all he needed, and now sleeps through the night.
Oh.
So just that like little environmental change.
That's interesting. Okay. So, because Israel, doesn't really have that vocabulary to say like why he doesn't like his bed.
Right, and this little boy's 15 months, so like that boy doesn't have vocabulary at all. This was like
Um,
me and dad problem solving through like why is his 15-month-old not sleeping through the night at all? And dad having to go in like every hour to get him to go back to sleep.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it was dad observing how loud the bed was.
Yeah.
I see. I see. Okay. That is interesting. And I've tried other things like putting on a fan, a
If
night
it's the
light.
comfort of the bed, it might be literally the comfort of the bed. If he's falling asleep in your bed without you there,
Yeah.
right? If that's his preference, like if you don't have to be in the room and goes to sleep in the bed, then your bed is more comfortable than his bed.
What are your thoughts on letting him just sleep in my bed?
Can he safely get in and out of your bed?
Yeah.
I mean, I, I, as long as he's not going to roll out of it, I don't see a danger in
Uh-huh.
it.
Because I've heard like it's like they can become dependent on sleeping with you.
But you're not in the bed.
Yeah, I'm not. So it doesn't matter that he that won't be a regular thing for him.
I mean, I'm not one to say don't co-sleep. Like that's something that I've learned from a lot of my families. It's like if that's what gets you guys through the night, then like co-sleep, like do what you have to do, but you're not co-sleeping. He's literally sleeping in your bed without him.
That's true. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter.
I mean, I don't think so, but there may be other people who disagree, and that's okay. I mean, I think we're all entitled to our own opinions. I think the biggest concern is that safety piece. Like, is he going to roll out of the bed? Is he a mover in his sleep? Right? Because a
Huge
big bed,
mover. Huge
right?
mover. But he doesn't roll over. It's so weird. Yeah, like he'll fall out of his toddler bed easy, but he won't roll out of mine. I wonder if it's because he stays close to me and he just doesn't. I don't know. He's never rolled out of my bed. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's higher and bigger.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think like the things you look at in like an adult bed is like the number of pillows, the weight of the comforter, like can he safely get in and out of the comforter? Can he not like suffocate himself with the pillows, right? And you can kind of
Mhm.
like preemptively take the pillows off the bed so that he's laying flat. Only have his blanket on the bed so that like your comforter is not overwhelming his body.
Yeah.
Um, but in my opinion, as long as the bed you're making the bedroom as safe as you can, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
If
That,
historically he's not rolled out of it, he can get in and out of it safely without any issue.
yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. I love this. Okay, we should have one more like nugget from you. I think what is like as a toddler, because I'm in the toddler phase, so of course I'm going to ask a toddler question. So as a toddler, what as a toddler parent, what's the number one thing I should be considering when it comes to all these like changes, right? Like changes in their language, changes in their autonomy, potty training, sleep changes. Like what's something that you would tell a parent going through all those changes?
Um, be patient, right? I think we live in such a fast-paced world, right? We talked about earlier, like trying to make them grow up faster than they are.
Yeah.
Enjoy every step of the way because those are the only times that you're going to have him as a toddler and
Yeah.
allow him to be a toddler. And I think it's okay that every day is not perfect.
Oh, when you said allow him to be a toddler, that one, yeah, that's
Let
so
them be
true.
messy. Please let them be messy.
I struggle with that. So I today I let
Love
him
being messy with him.
what?
You used to love being messy with him.
True to a point. So I let him make a smoothie with me. He has this cute little step stool, and he had this protein powder scoop, and I swear he scooped it out, but then he got distracted with the buttons on the blender, and then apparently he didn't scoop any of it out, and all of it went on the floor
Uh-oh.
and in the sink and on the blender. And I was just like, how did that happen? So I was like, it's just protein powder. It's okay. I was trying to stay calm. And then I was like, that's okay. We could just clean it up. It was literally like I was like coaching myself because I was like freaking out
Right,
inside.
but like that's what you have to do. You have to narrate it. Like, but I think in that moment, like it's okay for you to be frustrated. You're be like, man, I really wanted the protein powder in my smoothie, not on the floor.
That's so cute. Okay, wait, say that one more time.
I wanted my protein powder in the smoothie, not on the floor.
So I tell that to Israel.
Yeah, like what happened? Because you as an adult could have done the same exact thing. You know how many times because I put my protein powder in my cottage cheese
Uh-huh.
and like half of it because I use not brilliantly a mason jar. So like I have to pour it just right for it to like not go over the edges.
That's funny. Uh-huh.
But I think like again, like just narrating like, dude, we missed the smoothie container. What happened?
Mm.
You I
Okay.
got distracted by the buttons.
Yeah. I like that. That seems more sincere because I'm doing it to not get frustrated.
But you're like, I think you have to get frustrated. He has to see you have emotions. Like, it's okay. But like, how do you deal with those emotions, right? Like, that's how they learn how to cope by us modeling that coping skill.
Yeah. So maybe like me taking a deep breath
Yeah.
and like, man, mommy really wanted that in the blender, not the floor.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so honest and real.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a society now that like we're allowing emotions to happen. And so kids have to feel safe to have their emotions, but so do the adults, right? Like we
Oh,
also have to feel safe to have our own emotions and
yeah.
know why and narrate why. Like I think, I mean, my mom and dad and my sister will advocate. Like am such a hothead. Like I snap at anything. You know this. I mean, I'm not perfect. Um, but like when I can explain why, I can come down from it a lot faster. And I may need to explain it 100 times for me to like be okay with the fact that like I know my spiral was wrong. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but like my coping mechanism is talking through it over and over again until like I can let it go, which is not one of my strong skills. But like being okay with that feeling of discomfort. Like we don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, right? Like that's just how we were raised. But like it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to have those uncomfortable conversations because if we don't have them, we're never going to learn how to make it through them.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
really good at having uncomfortable conversations. We've talked about this like in our adult life. Um, when we've talked about like dating, right? Like
yeah.
you can have those. I am not comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. Um, but I think like modeling those uncomfortable feelings is okay.
I love that. I love that so much. So much of that just resonates well because we're supposed to be modeling, right? We're supposed to be modeling, we're supposed to be narrating, to help them feel safe. I love
Hmm.
that one. Oh, there's one last question I wanted to ask you about. You said you wanted to help the kids understand safety in their bodies, I think earlier, if I'm not mistaken. What it looks like in your body. Like we were talking about Israel's speech and him being loud. And you were like,
Oh,
like your body wants to be really loud. And then with the little girl he's playing with, she kind of like she'll kind of cower when he
mhm.
just comes close to her. And sometimes he
Yeah.
won't even be looking at her and he'll just walk away. But she has that kind of like body language. So am I trying to teach him how to look at body language? Is that kind of that safety piece?
I mean, I think in that moment you could like again narrate like, oh, it looks like she feels really uncomfortable, right? Like her shoulders are hunched. She it doesn't look like she likes it.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to go into like the body posturing. I think you can just say like she doesn't like it. She
Uh-huh.
looks sad or she looks uncomfortable.
Okay. And so teaching him how to analyze how someone else is feeling is teaching him body awareness or what's the purpose?
Um, we're teaching them how their actions are making other people feel.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't think it had anything to do with safety. I was talking about interoception for a minute, just talking, but that was like more the narration of like what's going on in your own body, like the adjectives that you use to describe those body feelings. But
Mm,
um, I think just like narrating like how she feels in that moment. It's like that cookie experiment that's going viral, right? Like mommy feels really sad because she has two cookies and daddy has one cookie. Right? We can tell by mommy's face that she feels sad she doesn't have any cookies.
oh, I don't know about that viral video.
Oh, it's all over TikTok.
Oh,
And parents feel really bad when their child does not share their cookies. They die laughing. I mean, they like are hysterical.
I'll have to look it up. It's called
Oh
the
my
cookie
God, so
experiment.
funny. Yeah.
I'll look it up. Oh my goodness.
So it's
This is
like
so
it's like a reveal. So like there's three people and each person has like a cup or a bowl over top of a napkin and you use the child's favorite food. So usually it's a cookie. I think there's one video of like biscuits. Um, and on the count of three, everyone opens their plate and it's like, Daddy has one cookie. The little girl I watch, but Georgie has two cookies. Mommy has no cookies. What should we do? And so this little girl initially offers mommy a banana. And mommy's like, but I really want a cookie. And she's like, the girl's like, you can see the little girl like contemplating like what to do. So she ends up going and getting her a fake piece of cake.
That's so funny.
But some kids do give the mom like one of their cookies so that everyone has one.
Oh, that's so cute. I want to see what Israel would do. That's so fun. Oh, Stacey, it's always so good chatting with you. I feel like I learn so much from you. And I know I have a big mom following and I know they're gonna love hearing you coach me because I know that the struggles that I have are just so common
Yeah.
and they're just so
They're
relatable.
not alone.
Yes,
Sleep,
no.
sleep, eating, play, communication, right? Like every child goes through those stages so differently, but like it's not always easy.
It's not, no. And I think it's so easy for us to compare, especially when we get
Yes.
together. We're like,
Yeah.
wait, your kid can do what? And mine is
Yeah.
like over there. Yeah,
Well, and I think like we're in a place where like we have for now free services that's provided by the state and county. Like use your early intervention services because
yeah.
if you don't use them, you're gonna end up having to pay for them.
Mm,
And getting early intervention is better than waiting. Like, right? Like I think we talked about in the last podcast, like my first client in early intervention was a 10-month-old for feeding. I never worked with anyone under one. And I was like, okay, this is going to be real fun because I don't know what to do. And so like I did as much like pre-reading as I could. Mom was just nervous. I discharged him in like three visits because he was fine. She just had never given him spoons. She'd never given him anything to touch. Like he had never self-fed for the first 10 months of his life. And so where was I going with this? I lost my train of
Oh,
thought.
that use your free resources. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
okay to
So
be
she
behind.
didn't actually need me, right? Like I was just like a person to like validate that like yes, your anxieties are real and true. It is scary feeding toddlers. Like I gave a 9-month-old with teeth a carrot today and I was like, I'm terrified you're gonna bite through this carrot because you have teeth, right? And that's like a real valid feeling. And so like the way that I made myself feel better is like I was like, Mom, he has teeth and he can bite. Let's do like a giant carrot. And I had control of it and he did not want me to have control of it. But like I had to keep him as safe as I could.
Right.
And I said to her, I was like, he can make marks in this carrot. Like he was able to get like we call them like vampire bites. I was like, I would not give him a carrot until he is actually ready to eat carrots.
Mm.
Um, like until he is at like the safe age of like feeding children raw carrots. Um, but it's like that, it's just it's nutty. It's crazy. Feeding is so hard. There's 36 steps to getting food from the table to your child's mouth.
Whew.
Yeah.
Wow. So essentially, have grace, use your resources, be patient.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Don't don't wear all of the hats because you moms love to wear all of the hats, right? Like take off the nurse hat or not, don't take off the nurse hat because you guys can do some pretty good nursing skills. But like don't try to be like the GI doctor, don't try to be the dietitian, right? Like yes, you know a lot of things, but like you also just need to be mom at the end of the day.
oh,
And
I
it's
love
okay to
that.
use your specialist.
Yeah. And the resources. That's so good. Yeah, because at the end of the day, mom is the most important one. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I agree. Oh, yeah. That's so correct. Stacey, thank you for your time. This was
You're
such a good
welcome.
episode. How can people connect with you or like the resources that you're talking about, that early intervention?
Um, Connect with your state. So like I said, I work for Baltimore City Infants and Toddlers, and then I work for a private practice in PA. Most of the time, I'm pretty sure you can get your resources through your pediatrician, or through your local health department, is my understanding. So like if you have any concerns, um, ask for help, and they should be able to point you in the correct direction.
So they could type in early intervention and then like their state and then their county might be like a good way to search for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
because it's definitely different per county. Like there's Baltimore County infants and toddlers and Baltimore City infants and toddlers. Um, so
cool.
it's different. So like I see kids in the county, but the family lives in the city.
I see. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you,
Okay.
Stacey. This was such
You're
a good
welcome.
podcast. All right, before you go, I need you to hear this. You don't need to keep white knuckling your way through life. You don't need to figure it out on your own. You deserve support. You deserve strategy. You deserve to feel like yourself again. And that's exactly why I'm offering you a complimentary free 30-minute coaching session. No strings, no pressure, just real conversation, real breakthroughs, and a real chance to feel lighter, clearer, and way more in control. If you've been listening and nodding your head thinking, yes, that's me, then this is the moment to stop thinking and start doing. Click the link in the show notes and schedule your free session right now. Right now, not later, not when you have time, right this moment, because you're worth showing up for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at healing_with_Haley. I am here for you, but don't overthink it. What you're going to do in this free session is we're going to unpack any negative belief systems, build momentum with clear strategies, leave you feeling lighter, calmer, more confident, more grounded. These are the emotions you're going to feel after a session with me. Don't overthink it. The life you want starts with one decision. This could be the one thing that changes everything for you this year. Let's do this.